You know, I've always compared this thing
Today I really wanted to talk to you about how to develop gratitude.
with this thing.
They
They look very alike. Should I talk about why I believe this piece of shit is a piece of shit?
Then this message is for you.
Let's get into it. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Trauma Pond HQ. My name's Olivia and this is where we sit by the pond and we have a little chat. So I had already wanted to talk about Jay Shetty for quite some time, and then when I was doing more research yesterday about him, a whole bunch of stories started coming out. All of these things I pretty much knew about Jay Shetty. For one, I find it very odd that for someone who has just spent 3 years learning the indoctrination of being a monk, and then all of a sudden comes out of nowhere, heads straight to Hollywood, and then gets signed under Ellen DeGeneres. Now, anyone who is signed under Ellen DeGeneres, you're going to want to ask a lot of questions. As a matter of fact, anyone in Hollywood, like if you have any common sense whatsoever, you're not going to think that a lot of people in Hollywood are going to be good people. Anywho, I only started understanding who Jay Shetty was about a year and a half ago. I saw him talking on another podcast, and the things that he was saying I'd already heard once before, but I couldn't quite pinpoint where it was from. But I can understand that an awful lot of things get rejuvenated and redone and reverbalized in certain ways. So a lot of people can just take things from what they have learned in their life and then pass it on. But the thing is, for how long we have been on this earth, there is no such thing as originality anymore. Things that are being said have already been said. However, though, there's realizing something and giving credit to its original source, or there's stealing it completely. And Jay Shetty is definitely one of those. The reason why I thought Jay Shetty didn't really add up is the fact that he said that he spent 3 years becoming a monk. The type of monk he claims to be is Hare Krishna. It really doesn't say what the minimum amount of time is that you have to do their practices to be considered a monk. It seems as though that you can go there for a week, do their practices, just learn their ways, and you become known as a monk. But if it is 3 years to develop all of your knowledge and indoctrination, and then you leave, does that make you a monk? That's pretty much the same equivalent of saying that you're going to university to get a bachelor's degree in law, and then once you get that, you're going to become a lawyer. And that is not how law works. You have to get a postgrad, and then you have to do placement. So doing 3 years of a degree doesn't make you what you are. You also have to practice it. I'm pretty sure there are plenty of monks that are so much more qualified to speak on certain situations that have been in the practice for a lot longer and do a lot better than him. But this is the power of cluster B personality traits.
They're right about you. You're a bloody psychopath. High-functioning sociopath. With your number.
So many news articles are coming out about Jay now saying that he is a fraud, that the timeline for when he says that he went to India to practice being a monk doesn't add up. It also doesn't help that I found out as well, Jay Shetty has a certification school. Become a life coach. Jay Shetty Certification School is an OTHM approved centre with the right to an award of postgraduate diploma qualifications. Now, I never claimed to be the most intelligent person, but a postgrad means that you also have an undergrad. And this is to teach you how to become a life coach.
I am so not qualified to do what I'm doing.
This is my question to a lot of people who would want to do this. For starters, f*** life coach, okay? Listen to people who have actually experienced true trauma and come out of it. Here's my other question. Why on earth would you ever want to spend, this is over $7,000 by the way, the same amount of money for a course, which this is just pure greed. You could spend that same amount of money going to India and actually practicing with the monks. Then that way you would get actual life experience. You could learn so much more about what it is that they do. You might have a different way of life by the time you go and come back. Just for a fast track, instead of actually gaining life experience. It's a massive scam. I've talked so many times about how certifications, qualifications, going to university, I'm in that position right now. University is a scam. So what makes this not a scam? Jay Shetty only has a degree himself in management science. Management science. Using that kind of knowledge, then he learned to become a monk to what? Scam everyone out of doing courses for him and listening to his BS?
Ryan, I'm just helping you invest in your future, my friend.
It sounds like a get-rich-quick scheme.
Yes, thank you.
Jay Shetty is very far from a good guy. I've felt it in my bones ever since I first saw him. I didn't quite understand what it was 2 years ago, but as time has gone on, I'm like, this guy is a con artist. So this is what one article says about Jay Shetty. A report by the British newspaper The Guardian said that Mr. Shetty, who has officiated actors' wedding Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck in the marriage of 2022, falsely claimed to have spent 3 years in a temple in India. Jay Shetty runs a meditation startup valued at over $2 billion. Billion. His official website said that during his school years, he spent vacations living with monks in India, immersing himself in their wisdom and teachings. School years as what? What age are we talking about here? Are we talking like 10, 11, 12? He is Indian.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
However, The Guardian reports claims that the 36-year-old has falsely claimed to have spent 3 years in the temple in India. After graduating, Shetty forgoes a life of material success in the life of being a monk. This is a guy that has been signed under Ellen DeGeneres. I mean, if you're signed under Oprah, Ellen, Epstein, I personally don't believe that there's too many people in Hollywood that are honest. There's a very small handful of people that are actually genuine. The very fact that he charges over $7,000 for a postgraduate diploma. The other thing that has never sat well with me is the type of people that he has on his show.
How that sketch started there.
You know, I was a people pleaser. Like, I can't stand people that are like eating a bucket of like Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Like, I'm so fat. It's a really painful time.
And we worked on it very hard and did all the research. And
I just have felt pain and guilt and shame my whole life that wasn't our story.
By the way, all the people in that montage are the ones that I believe to be pure evil. And I haven't even gotten into the people who I really believe are demons. I mean, I wouldn't consider these people good people to listen to about the means of life and how to go about life in a happy and successful way, letting your woes behind and making sure that your life has some sort of value and meaning. These are the last people that you should ever want to listen to. So why would you want to have people like this on your show who are harming the environment around us? Kim Kardashian is not a role model to look up to. She made her fame through her mum and her dad. And when she wanted to grab her own fame, well, have a sex tape. Joe Biden isn't exactly someone that you would consider to be a good person. The country has literally gone down in a pit of fire since he started. Actually, in all honesty, can anyone tell me in the comments, what has Joe Biden actually done that is good for the country of America? I'm dying to know, what has he done that is good? Overturn Roe and Wade? Was that it? Introduce porn to children? Is that it? Maybe it's the fact that he started wars. Is that it? Maybe it's the fact that taxes are at an all-time high. Maybe that's it. Or that the immigration problem in America is getting worse and worse, and now loads of people are dying because of the immigrants that are coming into America. Is that the good stuff he's done? This is another part that came from The Hindu. It is to be noted that this isn't the first time that Shetty has been under the scanner. Earlier, in 2019, Shetty was accused of plagiarizing social media content thanks to YouTuber Nicole Harbour, following which Shetty and his team removed almost 100 posts from his social media accounts. So my thing is, why are people falling for this? I understand if you want to find comfort in something that you are feeling is giving you a sense of purpose, but is it worth it when the person who is giving you that sense of purpose is a con artist? Personally, I don't think so. I don't think it's okay for you to be listening to someone who will have psychotic narcissists on their show. I don't think it's okay for them to take money from you for something that holds no meaning. I don't think it's okay to be linked with anyone who has a very dodgy past. If there's one thing I can say that is holding you captive, it's the very fact that you are willing to not want to put your thoughts in your hands. You need to have your thoughts in other people's hands, which means that you don't have the ability to critically think. Having the ability to critically think is a very rare power. Very few people have the ability to think. And I understand that that is something that is totally alien, but the more that you are able to take back your own power and start thinking for yourself, the sooner you will be able to break free from whatever traumas you're in. I understand that a lot of you are going to take this information and feel like I'm being a bad person. An honest person is not a bad person. A person who lies to you is a bad person. I'm very happy to be the villain of your story. Being a truth teller is not something that comes easy to anybody. It's so much easier to lie and to spare people's feelings than it is to be honest. But honesty gets you further in life. And when truth comes out, you have no one to blame but yourself. And I really do hope that Jay Shetty has a very big tumble because of this. Because I guarantee you, I would not be surprised if stories like this come out about him.
So there's this whole thing that people think that monks live this kind of celibate, you know, quiet lifestyle where they're like one with nature, and they've kind of released themselves from all the trappings of our life. And what you realize when you're with monks is that they're all just sexual deviants. I was f***ing guys off. I was out. But then as soon as I land here, they're like, hey, you're doing 25, 30 arenas in the spring. I'm like, and the monks talk shit to you. You think they're going to be quiet.
No, they're cruel.
Yeah, they're really cruel. All that, you ever seen those videos where like they hit themselves in the genitals?
Yes.
That's just how they get, that's how far they are. And like these guys have done so much wild shit that they punch themselves in the just to get blood flowing.
That's their Viagra.
Yeah, that's their Viagra.
So guys, with that, I'm going to leave it there. If you've enjoyed this episode of Trauma Pond HQ, please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment down below, say whatever you want. It's not going to affect me. I'm already traumatized. All right, guys, I'll see you next time for another episode of Trauma Pond HQ. Mwah.